The Townshend Acts. The Townshend Acts were a series of acts passed beginning in 1767 by the British Parliament that imposed duties on glass, lead, paints, paper, and tea imported into the colonies. Many Americans viewed the taxes as an abuse of power, resulting in the passage to limit the imports from Britain. In 1770, the British repealed all the Townshend duties except for the tax on tea, leading to a temporary truce between the two sides in the years before the American Revolution. Committees of Correspondence. The Committees of Correspondence were the American colonies' way of maintaining communication lines in the years before the Revolutionary War. In 1764, Boston formed the earliest Committee of Correspondence to encourage opposition to Britain's stiffening of enforcement and prohibition of American paper money. In 1773, the Virginia House of Burgesses proposed that each colonial legislator appoint a committee for intercolonial correspondence. The exchanges that followed built solidarity during the turbulent times and helped bring about the foundation of the First Continental Congress in 1774. The Battles of Lexington and Concord. The battles marked the start of the open conflict between the 13 colonies and the British. The battles took place on April 19, 1775 in Middlesex County, Massachusetts Bay near Boston. There were many casualties. The Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson and adopted by the Second Continental Congress, states the reasons the British colonies in North America wanted independence in July of 1776. One example being that King George III interfered with the colonists' right to self-government and a fair judicial system. The Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris was a formal agreement between America and Great Britain, signed on September 3, 1783. The signed agreement recognized American independence, established borders for the new nation, and formally ended the Revolutionary War. The treaty contained 10 articles, or key points, and the preface declares the intention of both America and Great Britain to forget all past differences and misunderstandings. Important figures. George Washington. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732 in Northern Virginia. His father died in 1743, leaving Washington with little inheritance. His hopes for school faded. In 1752, Washington was appointed to be an officer in the Virginia militia. When the colonies began to protest British laws in the 1760s, Washington was a leader to boycott British goods. By the time of the Second Continental Congress in 1775, the Revolutionary War had begun. It was decided to raise an army against Britain, and Washington was elected to lead it. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston in 1706. Benjamin Franklin helped to draft the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. His scientific pursuits included investigations into electricity, mathematics, and math-making. He also invented the bifocal glasses. Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams was born in 1722. An organizer of the Boston Sons of Liberty, Adams coordinated Boston's resistance to the Tea Act, which led to the famous Boston Tea Party. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was born in 1743 and was the author of the Declaration of Independence and the third U.S. president. Jefferson was elected president in 1800 and had 2 terms in office, 1801 to 1809. He helped to found the University of Virginia. Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine was born in 1737 and helped to shape many of the ideas that marked the Age of Revolution. Published in 1776, his highly popular pamphlet, Common Sense, was the first pamphlet to advocate American independence. Paul Revere. Paul Revere was remembered for bearing news of an impending British invasion to the town of Lexington, Massachusetts. John Adams. John Adams was born in 1735 and was a leader of the American Revolution and served as the second U.S. president from 1797 to 1801. He helped to negotiate the Treaty of Paris, and he was America's first vice president. King George III. King George III was born in 1738 and took the British throne in 1760. During his 59-year reign, he presided over the loss of the American Revolution. The end.